Which protein shake is best in your coffee? Let's find out. Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lisa if you're new here, and I'm trying to lose some weight. So this last week was a total bust for me. I had, times when I couldn't control my food options because we're offsite for work and it's being brought to us. So, there's just not a whole lot of choice you can do there. And then I sort of got sucked into that kind of all or nothing thinking where it's like, well, I've already had to have, a sub sandwich for lunch. So why does it matter what I do the rest of the day, right? Well, it matters even more. And logically I know that, but for some reason I was just sort of in a bad headspace this last week. Probably because work is also very stressful right now, but those times are going to happen and I have to figure out how to work through them and not take it out on my body and food, So anyway, so this next week's going to be more of the same. Stressful days at work, long days at work, and they're going to be bringing us in food. So I won't have any real control over what I'm eating. What I can control though, which I didn't this last week, is how much I eat. My plan is to have oatmeal in the morning because that does stick with me a little bit more. And so that way I get, less hungry throughout the day and hopefully less snacky. And then I will definitely get my steps in while we're doing this kind of event basically. And so, so I will definitely get some movement in, and they're going to be long days. So I don't know that I'll have time to do any other kind of workout at all, but at least, I'll be moving up quite a bit at work. And then for dinner, I want to do kind of some lower calorie, but, still kind of higher volume. So lots of veggies, that kind of thing, to try and make sure that, I stay full and, can get a good night's sleep and that sort of thing. So that's the plan for this week. My knee is doing a little bit better, so that's good. It still hurts, but not quite as bad. So I'm here jumping on my treadmill to do just a slow walk because it's really crappy outside. I was hoping I could go for a walk in the neighborhood, but we're in the middle of another rainstorm. So I'm inside on the treadmill, but and I'm still walking much slower than I normally would, but I also kind of think that maybe trying to get some fluid to it would help too. So so I'm doing what I can, and what I'm trying to really listen to my body as far as that part goes, because I think as much as you can't outrun a bad diet, you also need to be careful because you can outsloth a good diet. So and I think that was kind of what's been happening to me over the last last couple of months even, because I really hadn't been that far off track with the exception of this last week. I ate all the sugar and all the things this last week. I think I just kind of got to the point where I was frustrated and I, maybe did a little bit of self-sabotaging. I'm not sure, but it was not a good week for me, but that's okay. It's a blip, right? So that's why it's a year-long journey. Hopefully only a year. And, so hopefully it just is a blip on the radar, and, we're going to have those weeks. So, again, I think if you're kind of in one of those times too, just try and come up with a good plan, and try and do the best you can to stick to it. That's what I'm going to try and do. And, hopefully it winds up, showing up on the scale that, the hard work pays off, right? So, for this week, I kind of thought it'd be fun. I've been trying, different, protein, shakes, I guess, to put into my coffee because, with supply chain issues and things like that, I haven't always been able to get the one that I used to use. And so I've had to kind of try different ones. And I, at this moment, have one of each in my house. And so I thought, ooh, I'll do a side by side and see which one tastes the best. Cause I know there's one of them that I'm not as big a fan of. I think it's thinner maybe. So it just sort of feels like it waters down my coffee. So I'm going to do a super non-scientific experiment to see which is best. So I thought that might be kind of fun. Not that I really have a lot of control over which one I can get right now, but eventually then I'll know which one I want to order. Lately I've just sort of been going by which one I can get and which one I can afford, because some of them have gotten crazy expensive when they're scarce. So, I just kind of will take what I can get. And if nothing is reasonably priced, then I'll just do a different kind of creamer or something else. It's fine. But, anyway, I'm rambling. I thought that would be fun. So we'll get into that, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's my completely non-scientific protein shake taste test. So I have Premier Protein. This is the one that I've used the very most, in the caramel flavor. I have Quest in salted caramel, and I have Equate in caramel. So they're pretty close in calories. The Premier Protein has 160 calories. The Quest has 160 calories, and the Equate is 170 calories. So just a tiny, tiny bit higher. So I think I'll start just with literally doing a straight up taste test. So I'll shake each one. And I have these little teacups here so that I don't waste too much. And I'll keep them in order here. So that one's the Premier. Here's the Quest. You can kind of see the consistency is slightly different on these. And then the Equate. Evidently the Quest is also expires sooner. These I just got all of these recently. And these two expire in 2023. The Quest expires in 2022. So one of two things, either it doesn't last as long, which is usually a good sign, because that means there's less preservatives in it, or it's been sitting on the shelf for a very long time. It's hard to say. So I'm going to start with the Premier Protein. Cheers. Oh, those are thick and sweet when you have them straight up. Okay. Okay. That one's actually, it's pretty good. I definitely would not down that just as a protein shake though, for sure. This is the salted caramel. This one tastes slightly more chemically maybe, but I still really like it. It doesn't have like a bad aftertaste or anything. It just tasted a tiny bit different. I think that's the salted caramel. So maybe it's them trying to get that salt flavor in. And then this was the Equate. Yeah, that one's not as good. This is the one, it's actually a little bit watery when I put it in my coffee too. The Equate is actually my least favorite, and it's the most calories. So that one so far is going to be our loser. So let me add some coffee to all these and see what we think. And I'm just looking for about the same color, I think, is probably, again, non-scientific. Probably could have measured, but that's okay. So again, I'll start with the Premier Protein. Yep, the one I know and love. This one's the Quest. I almost like that one better. Let me see. This is the Equate. Yep, I already know I don't like that one. That's pretty much like watering down your coffee. I don't know where the calories are coming from on that one. This is my least favorite. So, trying to figure out which one I like better between the Premier and the Quest. Let me try the Quest first. Boy, those are really neck and neck for me. I think I just like them both, honestly. Let's see on the rest of the stats if there's anything different. So they're both 30 grams of protein. Let's see on carbs and such. They're both 3 grams of fat. The sodium on the Premier Protein is a little bit lower. It's at 320, and the sodium on the Quest is at 390. But let's be fair, this is supposed to be salted caramel, so, you know, I guess I kind of expect that. Total carbs are higher on the Premier Protein at 4 versus 3 on the Quest. Dietary fiber, this one, Premier Protein actually does have 1 gram of dietary fiber, which is good. But really, I mean, very, very similar. I feel like you really can't go wrong with either one. Which, like I said, doesn't surprise me just from having it in my coffee. I don't like this one. Now, truly, I wouldn't actually want to just drink either of these as far as, you know, if I was looking for something to have, you know, as a snack in the car on the way home kind of thing from work, I wouldn't choose either one of these. I used to do the chocolate Premier Protein, so this one in chocolate. And I did just that. I left it in my car. So when I was on my way home and starving, I would have that rather than like walking in the door and eating everything in sight. And that worked for a time in my life when that's what my schedule looked like. I didn't have time for lunch usually. And so by the time I got to dinner, I was ravenous and I was making bad choices. So that was what I was using them for, but I wouldn't do that with the caramel. It's just too thick and it's just too much. So, but in coffee, highly recommend whichever one of these you can get and get at a better price. I would go with either one. So, that's my very unscientific comparison of these 3 proteins. And you know, if the only one you can get is the Equate, or the only one that's reasonably priced in your area is the Equate, it's not terrible. But I think at this point I would rather have like the sugar-free sweet vanilla cream creamer or something like that instead. And, you know, you don't get the protein, but I just feel like I would rather have that and not, you know, not waste 170 calories or up to 170 calories putting that in my coffee. So anyway, I hope that was informative for you. And it was good for me because I was curious. You know, I had never really put these two I already knew that one wasn't fantastic, but I had never really put these two head to head. So good to know. I hope that was fun for you. Okay, just finished my walking workout. So like I said, a little slower than normal, but at least I got it done. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure and like it. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell for notifications if you'd like notified each and every time that I upload. I hope you guys have a very successful week. Thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye. So if you're swaying back and forth and I'm making you sick, sorry about that. It's because I'm holding my phone. Yeah, it was gonna happen. I don't know what I was gonna say. Non-science, not the